Hello everyone, Meerkat here, and today we're going to be looking at a bit of tidying up and something that's going to help us out in the long run rather than anything that we do now. So last episode we built the game instance and we showed a little bit of why it's required. Today we're going to put some functions into the game instance itself just so we can add items or basically use them in general rather than having to do the long-winded mess of a way, because later on when we do more complicated things it will be much easier to use functions. So the first one, bearing in mind we've got a monster storage, is we want to be able to add a monster. So for that we're going to need to get two functions. One, we're going to need to find the next available monster, and the next one is we're going to have to add them. So in order to find the next available one, we need to find an identifier which is going to basically say this isn't a real monster. Because we have got 6 items here already, but we only have, we don't have any monsters in there at the moment. So to do that, we're going to take a leaf directly from the Pokemon games, and we're going to go into our structs. We're going to go into our monster info struct, and we're going to add a new variable and put it right at the top. And we're going to call this one monster ID. I'm going to call it an integer, and that's all we need. So we're going to create a new function here. We're going to call get next available monster storage space, and all we're going to need to do is we're going to have to get the monster, and we're going to go for each loop with break. So what this is going to do is it's going to take each array element, and if something happens we can tell it, okay, stop, go through each loop now, we don't need it. So we're going to have to break this, which is going to give us the box, or the array of boxes. Okay, we'll start that again because that just crashed. So we need to create a new function we'll call get next available monster space. And for each loop with break, we want to get an array of boxes. And again, for each loop with break, we've got our monster info. So we want, if monster info is not equal, is equal to 0, we want to get a branch. Then we want to get the array index. And we want to promote this to a local variable, and we'll call this box space local. And just tidy it up a bit. And we want it to send it straight back to the break. And we want to create a new variable called found space underscore local. And then just drop that in the middle. So what it's going to do is it's going to go for each box, because this is going to have 2 boxes as such. Work your way through them, and if you find a monster ID, then get the index and say you found it, and go around and break. Once this is completed, then it's going to check if this is found. And if it is, it's going to break the bigger for each loop. So let's just tidy this up to make sure it's all nice and contained. And we're going to need to grab this index, approach the local variable, box index or box underscore local. And once this is completed, we can add a return node. Two outputs, we can go box index and box space index. There's box space, there's box. We'll add a return node, a new variable onto the output. We'll call it found space. Add a boolean. And we can add the found space to there as well. Compile and save. So now if we go to our third person character where we're adding all of our details. At the moment it's doing this. So I'm just going to add a quick input. So just bear with me, and because I won't do a tutorial on how to do an input. There is one in my randomized loop tutorial. So just bear with me while I create that. Okay. Get game instance and cast to PokeClone instance off the started. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do get next available monster space. And if found, which it should do, we want to print text. And we can format box slot box, and so box 0 is party, and so yeah, so if we do that now, it says 0 slot 0, and if we actually add a monster to us, which I will have to create first, you will see it goes to 0 to 1, so we'll keep this for now. Compile and save. The next one we have to do is we have to add the monster. We just do add monster to storage, but again, storage also includes party. We can add inputs to box and box space. Both are integers. And then we can literally go grab monster storage, get reference. This is the box. And we can break that. And get again. Off the box, you can go set array element. And this is the box space. And then obviously the make item we'll create here as an input. So monster info. Lovely. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a monster. So we're going to have, if it's true, tell us what slot it's going to go in, and then we're going to drag off of here again, add monster to storage, box index, box space index, and we'll make a, doesn't matter what this number is for now, as long as it's not 0, a sphere, not that it matters, and compile and save. So now, if we add 0 to 0, next is 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, then it's the next box, and it's slot 0. So we will be using the instance for a lot more than just monsters. Obviously, later on if we look at items and everything. So I'm going to add these into their own category because we will need to have these. Same as this variable, we are going to have to keep track of all these because there will be a lot of variables later on in the series. But other than that, I think that is where we're going to stop off for today. So just a quick recap again. So at the moment we have no monsters, so let's add a very quick print string. So event tick. So here we can see I've just added a quick print string to the tick. We have nothing, 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 nothing. Let's just change that because I shouldn't have anything in level 5. Okay, so we have nothing, 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 nothing. Add that. I can add level 4 none because I haven't added what it is. I have nothing, 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 nothing. Now we have a level 4 sphere in slot 1, in slot 0, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. And even though I've moved into the next area, it still stays there. Okay guys, well thank you very much for watching. The next episode we will be spawning monsters and working on spawning random monsters and adding them to our parties, whereas at the moment we are purposely choosing a level 4 sphere. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you're enjoying this series so far. If not, then obviously please comment, let me know what I can do to improve. Always looking for improvements, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you very much.